Ag Matters is underwritten by Ag West Farm Credit. Ag West Farm Credit is a financial cooperative that provides financing, crop insurance, and related services to farmers and ranchers across the West. From small family businesses to large operations, Ag West brings the experience and financial know-how to help you grow your best future.
Welcome to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska on Big Cabbage Radio.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ken Hoffman. I'm the host of Ag Matters. I'm a small-time farmer here in Palmer, and I'm also the executive director of the Alaska Farm Bureau. So if you're a farmer or you rely on farmers, such as eating food, wearing clothes, anything like that, then you should become a Farm Bureau member. It's a pretty cool networking situation. We do education, we advocate. It's a lot of fun. So check it out at alaskafb.org. So today I am not alone in the studio. I have my friend Abby and her mother Janice Raisanen. Sweet, I got it right. All righty. And they're with 5 Acres and Beyond Farm. So I'll start with you, Abby. Tell me about the farm. Do you enjoy it? What do you do on the farm?
I'm the main pig farmer on our farm. I take care of all the breeding stock and figure out when to order pig food and feed the pigs and just the main husbandry for the pigs.
How many pigs do you guys have?
We have 3 breeding sows and a boar, and we have 6 market pigs.
Sounds good. So with the pigs, do they have little baby pigs every spring or?
Yeah, we try have them in the fall too, so 2 litters a year.
2 litters a year.
Yep.
Okay, what do you guys do with the pigs? Do you eat them all up into bacon, or do you guys have projects like 4-H projects?
We sell some of the piglets, and then we keep some for our family and to sell some for the farm. And then 4 of us kids do 4-H, so some of us do 4-H sign projects. Yeah.
Okay, 4-H projects. So you said 4 of you kids. How many kids are there in total?
11.
11 kids. So that's a lot of employees for the farm. That's what I think. So Janice, could you tell us the history of how did you guys end up in Alaska? Or were you guys here in Alaska originally? And then how did you guys eventually get into homesteading or farming?
So we have been here in Alaska now, I think, for a little over 22 years, but just celebrated our 21st wedding anniversary last week. So we both met up here. I'm from a little bit northeast of Seattle, Monroe, Washington, and my husband comes from Minnesota, close to the Twin Cities. So we don't come from farming backgrounds in our youth. My grandfather actually went to school, and he was going to be an agriculture teacher. He ended up working in the paper mills. And my husband's grandfather did corn, and they definitely had farming there, but neither one of us grew up with large livestock or really any big farm industries. Since we've been married, I've always had a vegetable garden. That's where my passion is gardening. And it was about 6 years ago we had kind of thought about getting into pigs, but the time wasn't quite right. COVID was really crazy and everything else. And then it was the following year we ended up jumping in, and 4-H gave us a really good start. Lots of great opportunities there, had some great mentors and whatnot. And we first thought we'd just start off with, I think we had 3 or 4 kids that were going to do market animals. And it's kind of like the chicken math. We ended up with then, retaining one for breeding and everything else. And we've just slowly, gradually taken off from there. Like Abby said, she does the majority of the pigs stuff. The last couple of years, my daughter did a market heifer last year. So now we run a herd of 5 cows.
Wow. That's a lot of cows still. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work, especially on 10 acres.
So we actually only have 5.
5, that's right.
It's a little over 5 that we're farming on right now. We're lucky that Alaska has a great community, and one of our neighbors, we lease her land for pasture in the summertime for the cows. So that works great. And then our other areas, for the summertime, we kind of have it set up where we can kind of rotationally, they don't get all their nutrition. We're still grading them and whatnot for the pigs, but it just keeps it so they're not just in a dirty little pen.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys have been doing it for about 6 years.
This is our 5th year in 4-H, so only 5. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So I see that you brought in a flyer today. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah, the 4-H and FFA Junior Livestock Auction is on Saturday, September 5th. Everyone is welcome to come. This is supporting Alaska youth and agriculture, and you purchase premium quality meat. There's going to be beef, swine, lamb, goats, turkeys, chicken, duck, geese, rabbit, and quail for sale.
Wow. Whole smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you and 4 other of your siblings will be selling there at that auction?
Yep, 4
Okay.
other siblings.
And you guys are just doing swine? Or are you guys going to be doing heifers, cows?
So two of the other kids have a market. One has a market steer, and then one has a market heifer.
Okay.
So
What is the difference between a steer and a heifer?
a steer is a castrated cow, male cow, and then a heifer is a female cow that has not yet calved.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm sure some of our listeners have heard those terms, but maybe never heard it defined. So that's great. So tell us more about your farm, because you guys don't just have pigs. You guys have other things. Do you guys do gardening as well? How is all of this work divvied up between the 11 of the kids?
Well, not all 11 kids are involved. My eldest has moved out, and the youngest isn't quite to that point yet on helping out. So we have a vegetable garden along with a flower garden. I have a daughter that's just turned 10. She's my major flower gardener. She does a lot of the flowers, and we do bouquets and whatnot. They set up a little roadside stand. For the chores, they're just divided out. We have a chore list. Abby does the morning chores for the pigs. The kids that do the cow projects or have those beef projects, they're the ones that are more or less doing the chores for the cows. We do have chickens and turkeys, and the other kids, they just kind of all get mixed in there. We have a daily chore list, and morning and evening feedings are normally broken up. So it all works. My chore isn't necessarily out there mucking stalls or feeding, but it's the management side of it.
Project management, telling the crew what to do.
Correct.
Perfect. So, Abby, how long does it take you to do the chores in the morning? You're doing it every morning, like 7 days a week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unless on Sundays I be like, Dad, can you feed in the morning? I want to sleep in.
There you go. Perfect. So you do it every morning. So for those who don't know, Abby is one of my star employees at my little business at Matt's Microgreens. And work starts at 8 o'clock. So you're doing all the chores before you come to work?
Yeah, I usually wake up a little before 7.
Okay.
Right now, because there's no piglets or stalls to muck because it's summertime, it doesn't take me an hour. It only takes me 20 minutes.
Oh, that's
right
nice.
now. So it's not too bad. It's just feed them all, check the water.
Cool. So I know that you do lots of other things with pigs. Don't you do education things, or you teach other kids how to raise pigs or something like that?
Yeah, so we've had new members join our 4-H club, and my mom is now one of the leaders. So she kind of volunteers me to mentor new kids that are getting into pigs.
Okay. So how does that work? What does mentoring look like? Do you just invite the kids over and tell them to do your chores for you? Do you go over to their farm and show them this is what a pig is?
Usually we just invite them over and they come and we go look at the pigs and then they just ask questions. I guess I have hosted a couple workshops, so a bunch of kids can come and you just give them the overall.
Yeah, instructions.
Yeah,
overview. How to do it.
How to do the pigs, yeah.
How did you learn how to do all these pig things? Did you learn it just from other 4-H leaders? Did you have books that you read?
Kind of all of the above. We have had a lot of people help us. We've reached out to a lot of people when we had questions, and then I would just sit down and read the book, and when me and my dad or my mom would find something interesting, we would tell each other. Just
Yeah, that's great. That's the perfect way to learn. So what is the name of your guys' 4-H club?
Pioneer Peak.
Pioneer Peak.
Yeah.
Okay. How many members or kids are there?
I might get this wrong. I think there's probably between 15 to 20.
Okay.
It might be a little over that. I'm just one of the bottom tier leaders right now. So I don't know that for sure off the top of my head.
Yeah. So in order to sell because I think everybody's familiar with the state fair, they know that there's livestock auction that happens there at the state fair. In order to be a 4-H kid that sells at the fair, do you have to be part of a club or can you do it independently? How's the politics of that work?
So it's for 4-H and FFA. So as long as you have a club or a chapter, you're in the Matsu Borough, you're eligible to auction. But one thing that's maybe unique to our program is that there's a lot of different. You don't just get to show up at fair and get to auction your animal. There's a lot of other things that are involved in it. You have to go through like a mandatory meeting that's early on in the year, and it just goes over all the rules and regulations of what they're looking for in animals, and it just kind of helps guide you through the project. And then there's required workshops that pertain to livestock, whether it be small stock or large livestock, that the kids have to attend, and those are normally about an hour apiece. They have to do at least 3 of those. And then they also have to do buyer contacts, which they're going out and publicly inviting businesses or individuals to the auction to help participate or support the auction. And then there's also, they have to be able to show their animal in showmanship, which shows the judge how well they can communicate with the animal species. And then also they have to have their market animal judged for confirmation, which is market. So it says the quality of the meat, how well it rates among its peer in that particular breed. So there's a lot that has to go on. It's not like they just get to go outside and grab a cow or a pig from the pasture, because all leading up to that, all summer long, or since they have their project, they're constantly working with their project to be able to show it. I don't know, there's probably not very many people that can, quote, walk a pig without a leash.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's impressive watching the folks show the pigs around. So do you do a lot of that, Abby? Do you show pigs in the ring?
Yeah. You have to start training them and get them used to getting walked. It's always hard to start because you're doing a lot of running and a lot of fence fixing when you start training them. But so you have to set your mind to it and just get out there and start training them.
Okay. What is step 1 to training a pig? Do you have to start with like a little piglet, or can you start training them when they're bigger and adult?
I'd say it's a little bit easier once they hit like the 100 pounds. Wow. But people do when they're younger. We just never have, because they have so much energy and they can just book it way too fast, and it's hard to keep up with them. But
So you get a 100-pound pig in front of you, and is there any tools involved in this? How do you start training how to walk a pig?
So we call it a pig whip. It's just like a little guiding stick. All you do is use it for guiding. So you just get them on a path, and then you just tap them on their head, one side of their head to turn, and then just on their light. It's just light taps, and then you just keep them going and walk behind them.
Do you take them on walks through the neighborhood and things like that? How often do you have to take them on a walk?
We try to at least walk them 5 times a week.
Okay.
But yeah, usually we do get to the point where we can walk them down the road and walk them for at least 40 minutes by the time fair gets around.
Okay. So when you're in the ring showing pigs, do you have to stare down the judge or whoever they are? I've seen the videos on Instagram or TikTok of the people with these scary stares. Is that real? Is that necessary?
That is real, but that's not necessary. You're supposed to keep eye contact with the judge. So you're supposed to be able to control your animal while still watching the judge. But it's not. I think some people get extreme. But you do have to maintain the eye contact with them so they know you're paying attention and you're not just dilly-dallying around or just only focused on your animal. Mm-hmm. So
Okay. So that sounds kind of fun, pig walking. It must be work, though. I mean, there's a lot of work that
There's
goes
a lot that comes up. Yeah, it comes with it.
A lot of training.
But it's not too bad. It's really good experience. You learn a lot. You learn patience for sure. Mm-hmm.
So do you train one pig or do you train multiple pigs because I know some 4-H'ers, they have multiple projects at a time.
Yeah. Well, my 2 younger sisters are both raising pigs too, so we have 3 pigs in a pen. So we just all walk them at the same time. When they have their buddies with them, they seem to listen a little bit better, where if you just took only one pig out, then they're probably going to want to go back in the pen.
Lonely. Yeah. Okay. So then tell me about the auction process. So once you guys, you're in the pen, you're walking it around, there's people bidding for it. After that, what happens? Do you guys does the person, say Three Bears buys it, do they just take the pig in their arms and put it in their truck? How does that work? I'm really curious about that.
So most of the animals stay at the fair until at least the Monday after. So we have to, not all we bring them to the slaughterhouse in Palmer, and usually the cows go first. And because the slaughterhouse isn't big enough and there's so many animals, some people need to bring their animals home for a couple days. But usually one species goes one day and then the next species goes the next day.
Okay. So you guys don't have to butcher it yourself. You take it to the slaughterhouse.
No, we bring them to the slaughterhouse, and then you can, if you're keeping it for breeding or something, you need to talk to the livestock committee.
Okay.
I'll chime in a little bit just because I am on the livestock committee. And this is one of our hot topics right now. So we do use Alaska meat packers right now because they are USDA approved. So the majority of our animals do go to Alaska meat packers. So once the auction is complete and you do your checkout, will be information there how to get your cut and wraps. They're also looking into a couple different options potentially that if you weren't wanting the USDA stamped, there's a couple other options. And I do know that some people also then just decide to take the possession of their animal because they have their preferred processor already. So there's that. And then there are people that take them home for breeding. So you're not required to, quote, process your own, figure it all out. There's options there for you. You do pay for the processing, but the options are there and kind of laid out for you. So you're not just wandering around with a, 275-pound pig around the fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So as we start wrapping up the show, if there's parents out there that are listening and their kids are starting to reach that age, that a little bit older where they could possibly raise animals, what is step one for parents? How do they get information on 4-H or to get plugged into the community? So
our local 4-H coordinator, Samantha, is great. She's over there at the CES office. I do have the phone number here somewhere, maybe. It's 745-3679. She can answer any questions, and then she can kind of also get you plugged in with a group club, depending as to what you're looking for. Or if your kid is in middle school, I know Palmer Middle School has a local FFA chapter there at school along with Palmer High, and then a Career Tech has one also. So they could get plugged in with FFA or 4-H that way. There's just different, philosophies, you could say, between the two programs. Mm-hmm. One's kind of hands-off for parents because if it's done through FFA, it's done there at school. Mm-hmm. 4-H is definitely, I feel, a lot more family-oriented, which can be a bonus. Some people might like that about it. Some people might not. It's a lot more parents are driving kids to club meetings or then maybe having to be volunteer leaders. But I think it's a great way to get involved with other people that enjoy agriculture or, raising livestock, or not even necessarily that. There's a lot of opportunities within 4-H that I've enjoyed having my family be a part of it.
Absolutely. It's an awesome program to be a part of. I think it's really cool. So a little bit about your guys' farm. Do you guys sell any products? If so, how can people get a hold of you to buy things off the farm? Do you guys have a Facebook page, social media?
So we do sell, occasionally we'll be selling pigs. Piglets are a big thing, fall and spring. A lot of our spring piglets do get first choice priority to 4-H and FFA projects. Mm-hmm. Abby's breeding project, we go specifically for that. We also do farm fresh stuff. So in the summertime, we have, vegetables coming out of the garden, flowers. This year, my chickens did not do well, so we don't have any whole processed chickens for sale. But you would find us on, we have a Facebook page, which does or does not get updated very often. 5 Acres and Beyond is the best way to contact and message us.
Awesome. And one more time, Abby, if you could tell us about the event that's coming up, some of the details, the time and date and when.
So the auction is on Saturday, September 5th, and the animal preview and buyer lunch starts at 11, and the auction will start at 12. And that's in the Farm Exhibits building at the Alaska State Fair.
Love it. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for listening to Ag Matters. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska on Big Cabbage Radio. Ag Matters is a production of Radio Free Palmer, recorded at our studios in Palmer, Alaska. For more information about this program, email manager@radiofreepalmer.org.